Hello and good morning everybody. Welcome back to my channel. It's Belinda here and it is Trashcraft Tuesday. I think this is going to be a relatively quick little project today. Not so much about junk journaling but just about wrangling my space. I have a very small desk here and not a lot of space around me, and things are constantly either getting lost or getting out of control or just driving me insane. So glues. If you're a regular here on my channel, you'll often probably noticed I'm like throwing my hands around like, where did I last put my glue down? Or grabbing the wrong glue stick because I keep ones that are basically done but still have a little bit of glue in the plastic, and so I use that for washi tape, and picking up those ones instead of my full one, which is just not helpful. So I emptied this box of little snack Ziploc bags the other day out of my drawer. I used the last one and I was just sort of heading towards the fire to use it to light the fire with, and thought, hang on, could I use this little box? So I've taken the top off, and this is the bit where you grab the bags out, and I thought, oh, I wonder if my glues will fit. And you know what? They fit perfectly. Like, how perfect is that? And I was also finding that these two wonderful glues that the beautiful Laurel sent me, I wasn't reaching for them because they just got lost amongst everything else on my desk. So I thought, if they're all there together, then I can see them, I can pick them up, I'm not losing them, I know where to put them back, and it just helps keep my desk a bit tidy. So it works perfectly. I'm going to now empty the glues out of there. But, this isn't that pretty, is it? It's a bit boring. We can do better. So, you may remember from last week, if you watched my journal making video from my October journal, these bags of images that I had. And for the journal, I used the landscape nature ones. I thought, why not we collage this up with animal pictures, because I love animals. Now, I don't know how well this is going to work, whether we're going to find suitable sized images, because it's not a huge surface to work with. But let's tip them out and see what we can do, because it will be nice to use some of these long hoarded images. So just last few. There we go. So we've got some bits to work with, don't we? What's that? Oh, it's a cat. It's black and white of a cat. Okay. So ones like this are going to be too big. I'm not going to be able to fit, the whole horse head on. So we can kind of work out, that one might be quite cute though, because we don't need all that bush stuff. I like the way the sheep is looking at me there. I quite like that. Shall I put that on just straight away? Now, how to do this? Do I glue my paper? Do I wrap it around? How am I going to tackle this? Okay, I think I'm going to chop it down a little bit, because we definitely don't need that much. And maybe straighten up that bit at the bottom. Maybe we'll take a little bit off. I'm not quite sure how much. I might need to kind of shuffle that forward a bit, so I'm not working on top of it. Right, and obviously I'm going to have to cut out that little notch there as well. Does it matter if I lose the sheep's legs? Probably not. There's still, yep. Okay, let's just go for it and see what happens. So glue pages, my glue stick. Oh. And let's just start. So how are you, my friends? How's your Tuesday going? Or for those of you in other parts of the world, how's your Monday going? I hope it's a good day, whatever day it is. Even if you're watching this next Friday, I don't know, whenever you get to it. I hope it's a good day. Right, that will do. Placement's not too critical. I'm also thinking I might wrap this in packing tape, just because it's going to be living on my desk. I don't want to, taking a little V out there. Right, I might need to use actually tacky glue for that little bit. Just trying to get it to stick down. And my fingers still sore where I got the splinter, but it festered overnight and I got rid of the pus, but I think the splinter's still there, so it's still a bit tender, not quite as tender as what it was, I don't think. Okay, so that's looking quite good. So I'm going to take, again, just a little V out here. Do I want to trim? How am I going to trim this out? Almost think it would be easier to just take apart the box and reconstruct it, but I'm not going to. I'm going to persist in doing it this way. I'm actually thinking maybe I will fold that over as well. So I'm sorry, I hope you can see okay. Just going to trim that down a bit so we don't need all of it, and then I'm going to kind of slice it, if you can see, because it's a curve, and then kind of just wrap it over in a couple of parts. That's okay. It's got a little bit of a dink there, but it's okay. A dink. What's a dink, they ask? Well, a dink is just like a little corner instead of the curve. That's what I mean. Right. Take that little triangle out. And I think I need to take a bit more off this side as well. A bit more of the V. That's not sticking. I think the glue's dried a bit much while I was mucking around. So, in with the tacky glue. Come on. There we go. So we've got some sheep. And yes, this is not sticking down, particularly on this little bit where there's not much folded over. So tacky glue is going to take care of that. And partly why I'm thinking about wrapping the whole thing with packing tape is just to keep everything glued down okay. Just going to have a wee sip of my coffee. My fingers were so cold. I had those three and this, the tip of this one were all white, and I wanted to do my video, but I couldn't function with white numb fingers. So I wrapped them around my cuppa and got them back to normal state. Here's a tropical fishy. He's bright and fun and happy. He might need to go on top though. Oh, you're cool, parrot, but you're a bit big, I think. What else can we find in my pile here that's catching my eye? Oh, there's a cute squirrel. That would kind of be nice there. Let's just trim it down a bit more. Just going to sort of curve it inside that curve. Some preparation. Right, let's put some glue on it. So 2 pictures on the front. I'm thinking I might pop some smaller images in there so it's a bit more collagey. But we'll see. We'll see how we get on. Get rid of that bit. So we've got New Zealand and definitely not New Zealand going on here. Again, I might need to put tacky glue because not much of an overlap there. Taking that little V out just means it wraps around the corner nicely. Oops. Stuck to my scissors. Get off of there. No, it doesn't want to. Now it's on my fingers. I'm hoping I will get through this video quickly enough that I can add on the shopping haul from the weekend. So just be aware there may be an addition at the end. I'm not sure whether I'll have time or whether I'll have to do a separate video. We shall see. Right. Okay. Sorry, I hope you can see it's a little bit awkward with getting inside the box, that it kind of obscuring the view a little bit, isn't it? Okay, so let's make a few. Oh, that one hasn't stuck down either. Let's take care of that. That's the sheep image. Because the cardboard on the inside is quite porous. So I'm thinking the glue stick is not sticking so well as it is to the shiny outside. Is part of the problem. But the tacky glue will fix all that right up and it won't be an issue anymore. So now I'm just going to make some few slits in this curved area again so we can wrap it inside. And I'm just going to preempt the issues with adding some tacky glue from the start. So hopefully you can see, just wrapping it inside there. So it's not going to look that pretty on the inside, but it will be fine. Just take that top bit off. The important thing is that it looks cool on the outside, don't you think? That's the most important thing. There we go. So we've got lovely squirrel and some sheep. So I'm thinking maybe, you know, some smaller images in some of the areas where the animals aren't might be quite nice. But let's continue round. Got some mountain goats by the look of it. They look all woolly and warm. Now I don't want to cover the squirrel's face. So what I might do is take some of this edge away. Now it's not tall enough to wrap top or bottom actually. Should we just trim off a smidge? And we won't wrap it at all, top or bottom. Just needs a little bit more. I don't think this is straight. No, still a bit more. Sorry. Backwards and forwards. No, still a little bit more. Make it too short now. No, that's looking good. I am just going to go in here with some tacky glue. Like so. And we can wrap around the side. So this bit around the side. How quickly did I turn to using just the tacky glue? Oops, right. Just going to hold that for a moment till it sticks. Oh, look at these wee cuties. Wee Christmas geese. Or ducks. Geese or ducks? I'm not actually sure. They look like ducks. And there's a dove on the other side. I might save that because I'm going to be doing Christmas journals. So that might be quite nice to add in on something. Okay, so I've got a little bit of overhang here at the top. Let's trim that down. So I still didn't succeed in making it the right size, did I? It's okay. I mean, this is only just going to live on my desk. It's not going to be sold or given away or anything. It's just to look a bit prettier on my desk. Okay, that's cool. Right, on with the next part. This image is really lovely and we could use, but I love the cart as well. So I think I'll put that one aside. Got some albatrosses there and seal pup, but they're not big enough. It won't work. Here's a very colourful beetle. He's quite large. But that would cover the whole back. And it's nice and bright and colourful, so I'm just going to go with it. It's on the back, so it won't be seen, you know, it won't be the bit I see every day, only if I walk around the other side of the desk, or I'm walking back to my desk from the kitchen, which I do fairly frequently, but so, oops, get to see it as long as I haven't stacked up stuff behind it. Right, I'll probably end up adding some tacky glue as well. Right, so I want to overlap where the, just a wee bit where the goat is, goat image. So we're going to fold under some of his legs, just the ends of his legs. Don't know why I'm calling it a him, it could be a her, I have no idea. I cannot tell one beetle sex from another. Okay. Little angled cut there so it folds down inside. I probably should just put tacky glue on this, but we'll see. We'll see how it does. Trying to give it a good press down. I suspect I'll need to go in and give it some tacky glue. Right, take a little angle off there. And I need to tackle this corner as well before I fold it in. So maybe we'll do that little bit first, then this bit, and then inside. Just notice too, there's a little flap inside on both sides that's kind of, it's not glued down, so we might just go in and glue that. See, that bit's not sticking down at all. Neither's that bit there. Yeah, I do believe it's that raw cardboard on the inside that's being problematic for the glue stick. Needs something a bit stronger. So just going to put some glue in on those flaps so they don't create an issue with things going in and out of the box down the track, getting caught up. So just press that down and then do the other one. The benefit of these long metal tips on the glue bottles makes things like that very, very easy to do. Okay, so we've got sheep, squirrel, goats, a big bug. Whoops, he's almost lost his head, but not quite. That's okay. Still looks kind of cool. So we've got this little panel here to do. Oh, not going to use that. That's actually off a cardstock calendar. And he's too small anyway. What else can we find? A giraffe, are you going to be... Oh, he fits quite nicely. Again, won't wrap at the top and bottom. But if we trim a bit off the side, so I'm just going to eyeball that. Yeah, lovely. He will fit nicely. Eclectic mix of animals, which is exactly what I was after. Good to use these images on something that will be on my desk that I'll see every day. That's kind of fun, isn't it? I would have done it all in horses or cats, but horses generally too big to get a nice image to fit this small size. And I don't think I've got enough cat images to do it with, so... Okay, let's see if we can find some smaller little bits and pieces, like, talking about cat images, there's this little cat in a bowl. It's really cute. It's not very well cut out, I must say. I think I'd be happier if it was cut out nicer. It would look better, much better. So here's the bottom and the back of the cat and around its head. I was very lazy when I cut this image out many moons ago. Sometimes I love fussy cutting, but sometimes I get to the point where it's like, oh, I've had enough, and then I'll just start roughly cutting. Now it has got a cut off edge here. I wonder if that's part of what's bugging me about it. I'm just going to pop it there just because it's cute. Does it look good? I'm not convinced it does, but it's cute. If we can find some other little bits and pieces, it will start to bring it together and not be just a random cat glued in midair. It's still cute, even if it's imperfect. We've got a piece here off of, oh, is it Shark Tale? I think it's Shark Tale. I don't think it's Finding Nemo because this character's not in Nemo. So I think it's Shark Tale. That one's off. Let's put that one on the back there. That kind of joins those two pieces. Funny. We've got a couple of polar bears here. Oh, they look a bit angry. Might cut it down a little bit more. There's a lot of white there, since they live in snowy areas. It's just fun, and it is on the back, so let's pop it on. It means one more image that we're using. That's finding a home. Under the giant bug. There's no rhyme or reason to the scale. I think I'll leave this one as it is. I think that's really cool. Here's Muttley. Do you remember Muttley, the cartoon? Muttley the dog? I can't think what the name of the cartoon was, because the name of the cartoon wasn't Muttley, but the dog's name's Muttley. Can anyone remember what the cartoon was? Maybe we'll just pop him in, or do we want him on that side? The dog with the sheep could be quite funny. Don't want it over top of the sheep's head. Maybe we'll just carve a little bit more off. Maybe over that side, towards the curve a bit more. Yeah, it's bugging me. I can't think of the name of the cartoon. It's old. Yeah, like I'm old. It's an old cartoon. Here's another cat image. Really cute little cat image. Let's pop that one there. I wonder if we can find a third little cat image. It's looking a lot more interesting, don't you think, than just the plain old packaging. It was, I mean, it was fine. It wasn't super ugly, but it wasn't me either. It was not something I want permanently on my desk in its original state. I'm just trying to see if I can find another little cat image. It's not looking super hopeful. Little penguin. That's, I think, from Madagascar, penguins. Pop it down there under the goats. Makes absolutely no sense, doesn't it? But it's another image used. So some of these are more modern images. These images I started collecting back when I was a teenager, but then have been added to at points. So that's why there's some, ones that are not as old, like Madagascar. This one's certainly old, that cartoon. If only I could remember the name of it. It's bugging me. It's really bugging me. Right, I think I'm going to call it good. I'm not going to worry about another cat. I think that's fine. Yeah, we've got some pop-up happening here. So I'm just going to get in with my tacky glue, which I can't do and show you at the same time because it's, it's only a small space in there. It's not perfect. It's got issues, but I think it's cute. I am tempted to cover it in glitter and then packing tape just for fun. So it's, a little bit sparkly on my desk as well. And I think the packing tape would just protect it and, make it stronger as well. Shall we do glitter? Got my glitter here from the lovely Lydia. Let's do it. Let's do it. Means I won't be able to actually put my glue in this, my glue bottles until it's all dry, but that's okay. I had ages where I didn't have this container. So let's put some of this beautiful gold glitter around. And give it some sparkle. And I'm going to do the back as well. I'm not worrying about the base. The base, it's going to be sitting on its bottom. It's not going to be something we're going to be worried about. Oh, isn't it? It's so pretty. Right, sorry if I'm all up in your face here. So the giraffe's walking around in gold grass. Gold's going to look pretty on this yellow flower where the bug is. With some huge big flakes of glitter in there. It's so pretty. Do I want any on the bug? No, I don't think so. Let's put some up in the sky here with that goats. Right, I think that's good. Yep, I did the giraffe. Right, just now gonna get the rest of the glitter off my palette knife here so I'm not wasting any. So we don't want to waste any of that prettiness. And now that's going to go aside to dry. So this glitter is Folk Art brand Glitterific is the name of it, and this is 5875 gold. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful product. And thank you, Lydia. So I'm just wiping off that palette knife so it doesn't get all gunky. Right, okay, how are we doing time wise? We've got about half an hour. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to clean up this mess, put this aside to dry, and then I'm going to grab out the stuff for the shopping haul. Shall we do it? Let's do it. Be back in a tick. I'm going to do the shopping haul in 2 stages, and I'm going to start at the end of our shopping trip. So there's a new store in Christchurch, our local city. It's called Panda Mart, and I believe they're around the world, these Panda Marts, but it's the first one in the South Island. I do believe there are some in the North Island here in New Zealand, but it only opened at the beginning of September, and I did not hear about it until Friday just gone. I had no idea about this shop. So we were going past, so we thought we'd go and have a look, and I was, to be honest, a lot disappointed in the craft section. It did not have as much as I hoped, but price wise I was actually quite impressed. So I picked up a pack. This is 110 GSM, 20 sheets of sketch paper, and it's A3 size. I haven't opened it, so I don't know what the quality's like. Shall we open it and see? It was $2 for 20 sheets, and I thought that's pretty good. Okay, I might need to get my scissors in here. It's kind of like a plastic bag, and it's just got a little adhesive dot to hold it closed. So snip that open. So it's slightly textured. It's kind of creamy colour. It's not white, and I'm quite happy with that for $2. You know, that's 40 sheets if I cut it in half down to A4 size. So very happy with that for $2. Then I picked up this pack, which is 160 GSM, 20 sheets, and this was $3. So still, again, on the pricing, I was quite happy for that. So let's have a look. I suspect it's pretty much the same sort of paper, just heavier. But let's have a wee look. Yeah, it is. It's the same sort of paper, just thicker. I don't know if I could put it through the printer. I don't have an A3 printer, but if I chop it in half, how it will print out, I might try it. It's kind of rough, like feels very absorbent type paper. But for $3, I was willing to take a chance. Like, that's quite a lot of paper and a good weight. It's 160 GSM. Okay, I bought these metallic acrylic markers. There's kind of like a coppery colour, blue, gold, silver, like a rosy red and a green. I have tried them out. They are pretty good. The colours are nice. They are really nice and they're very shiny. But unlike a Posca, so comparing it against a Posca, these tend to soak through your paper a bit more and show on the back. But really pretty, and they were $5 for a set of 6. So yeah, again, I was happy to take a chance on them. You know, some things you've just got to take a chance and see. Excuse me. This is a pack of origami paper. It's quite a large size. It's 19 centimeters by 19 centimeters. 100 sheets, and just in solid plain colors. Now this was a bit of an oops. I shouldn't have grabbed it. I love origami paper, but it was randomly had been put down in the middle of other stuff, and I couldn't find it anywhere else in the store. So I thought, well, it can't be that much. Well, it was more than what I would have paid normally. Actually, did I get the price right? Okay, no, I didn't. These were $8.60 for a set of 6. That's right. This was what was $5. Normally, I would not pay that for origami paper. I know you can pay a lot for origami paper, but I like to pick it up secondhand if I can, because you get it, you know, for $1 or $2. But I'm still okay with it. Like, I will use it. I love origami paper. It's very thin, which is what I like about it. It has got some projects on the back included. So yeah, it's just more than I would normally pay, and I was kind of expecting that to be a little bit less given the pricing in the shop, but it's all good. That's not from this shop. Okay, glue sticks. There is this Motaro brand glue stick. Again, I thought I'd give it a go, see what it's like. It was 70 cents. It is a small one, so I normally use this size glue stick. So it's quite a lot smaller. This is 36 grams and this one is 21. But for under $1 for a glue stick, I thought it's worth giving a try. I have used it once and seems to be actually okay. So very excited if it actually works well. But I need to test it a bit more. So 70 cents for the glue stick. Really good. Just off to the side here, I picked up this packet of self-inking stamps, you know, children's stamps. I liked the designs. There were other packets with other designs. It was $2 for the 6. Again, I was disappointed with these. Straight out the packet, they don't stamp well, and I just gave one a check before I started re-recording. And I've only used them once and they're not working very well. But I'm okay with that, because what I plan to do, and the lids also don't really stay on very well, is I'm actually going to let them dry out completely, and then I'll just use a stamp pad. Once there's no colour coming off them, I will just stamp them on a stamp pad. So that's what I plan to do with those, because I think they're cute. There's the apple, the bee, there's a wee tree, a butterfly, a dragonfly, and the ladybird. And so I thought if I dry them out, I can just use them on ordinary stamp pad and they should be fine. I've never done that with these types of stamps, but I can't see why it won't work. So I've taken, you know, a chance on a few things for this shop. What next? Let's go to pens next. These were packs of 3. They're ballpoint pens in 3 colours per pack. I don't know which packs, how they were mixed now, because I've taken them out. They actually work really well. I'm quite happy with them. The orange is probably the least favourite of them. It doesn't work quite so well, but I think it's partly because it's quite a light orange. But they work really well, and they were, well, $4 for the 6, so $2 a pack of 3, and I was quite happy. They're nice, and I like the colours. Okay, I'm going quite quickly. I do apologize if it feels rushed, but I've got a bit to get through. So this is called Wallpaper in the shop. There's a whole bunch of patterns in the gold and the silver, or the gold and the silver. There's also other patterns like marble prints, animal type prints, all sorts of different prints. What I did not realize is that they're actually sticker papers. So they are self-adhesive with a backing that you peel off, and they're adhesive. So that was a fun discovery that they're actually adhesive. I've used some of this one. You possibly have already seen that video from yesterday where I've used some of that. Haven't opened the silver yet. I went with 2 different designs. I want more, and it was $1.30, I think. Let's just check my receipt. I think it was $1.30. Well, actually, one says $1.40 and one says $1.20. So you can take it that they were basically $1.30 each. Some of their pricing I don't understand. I'm sure the glue stick was actually 80 cents on the shelf, but they charged me 70, so I don't know how they work it out. Stickers, really good pricing. Really good pricing on stickers. Not what I would say a huge selection, but it's a brand new store, so I imagine over time it's going to develop. So I picked up the alphabet and the numbers in these beautiful, bold, bright colours, and they were 60 cents a packet, and there's 60 labels in each packet. Well, 60 in this, I just see is 49 in this, and 5 sheets. 60 cents for those. I thought brilliant price, brilliant. Then I picked up a pack of each. I've opened these, so I haven't got the labeling on them. These unicorn rainbow stickers and these love stickers. This one was 70 cents and this one was 80 cents. I don't get why they were different price, because they're exactly the same brand, same size, etc., same number of stickers. But 70 cents, 80 cents, I don't care. That's really affordable in my book. So I'm not upset with different pricing. This sticker book, what was this? This I actually did not get at the China shop. Okay, I forgot. We called in at our local Dollarama on the way home. So this was the very last place. This was $3. But really cute. Really cute. 2 sheets of each. So there's butterflies, bugs of all sorts. So there's ladybirds and beetles and caterpillars and yeah, all sorts of little, snail, all sorts of ones there. Oh, there's even some butterflies too, and bees. And then a page of bees, which is really sweet. So they will be for my personal journal. When I need a bug sticker or just a happy sticker, they will go in there. So that was a different store. And then Panda Mart is at a place called Northwood in Christchurch, and they also have a spotlight. And I went there and bought my first StazOn ink pad. I've used it once. I've tested it. That's all I've done so far. They don't have the black at our local, our closest spotlight. They don't have black. So I thought, well, I'll go with this brown Ganesh. And I'm actually really happy with the colour. It's a very, I would call almost a soft black, like it's brown verging on black. And it's actually a really nice colour. So happy to have my first StazOn. And I tested it on some glassine and it worked perfectly. It did not smear. It dried absolutely perfectly. And I'm super happy because that's what I wanted, because I've never been able to stamp on anything shiny. Okay, so I'm going to pause the camera. I'm going to clear this stuff away and then we're going to get into the books. So hold on. Okay, I'm going to do the books in 2 parts as well. So we went to the Book Barn, which is my favourite place to go for books now. And we spent 2 hours plus. Probably it was actually over 2 hours. My hubby was really wanting to get books, and I did not realize that some of the books he was picking up were for me. I thought he was buying for himself, but probably half the books he picked up were for me, and he is not kind of attuned yet to the types of things that I'm really after. So many of these are ones I would not have got. Yes, they are old books, 1800s, early 1900s, but limited use for me. So let's go through them anyway, but amongst that, some real gems as well. So this one is I think a novel book. Some of them don't have dates in. I have researched them and found the dates for some of them, but not all. This is an old book. It's got a few little, decorative bits here and there. And it's old paper. It's got those lovely pieces in the back though. These lovely illustrations. And there's a number of them and some really cool ads. So for this reason, this is why he picked this up, and I'm happy for those. Those are very usable. I can scan them, and that will be fantastic. But the rest of the book, aside from these bits at the back, is, it's text. We can still use it, but I don't know, I might have picked it up for these illustrations at the back. I might not have. But it's mine now, so I can do with it what I want. He stipulated with every book he gave me that whether I could rip it up and use it or whether it was to keep and just to scan. So he's kind of attuned in that sort of line. This one, it's got a couple of illustrations in it, but were there other plates? There might have been one or two other plates through it. It's an old book, but probably not one I would have bothered getting because it didn't have enough that I could scan. Just trying to see the date. No, can't see the date off the top of my head. It's old. Like, undoubtedly it's old. The cover was quite cool. It's got beautiful crane illustration. It did have some gilding. That's mostly worn off. It's a bit stained and that, but, lovely book in its time. But personally, if I was buying books, which I was, I wouldn't go for something like that because I felt it's not got enough in it for me. This one is the Home Cyclopedia, Popular Medical, Social and Sexual Science. Yes, you heard that correctly. So it's a medical book basically, but it's more like not professional medical. It's more like, I don't know how to describe it. Commentary on medical things, acceptable practices, common sense. It's a really intriguing book. It's got some lovely illustrations throughout it. It is very thin paper, slightly shiny. They're all blindfolded. All except the one lady's blindfolded. Funny. It's got some really weird stuff. A lot of anatomy pictures. It's really quite interesting. So I will definitely use parts of this and some parts I will scan. I have researched the date and I just can't remember off the top of my head. I wrote them all down, but I'm not going to bother saying. George Eliot's novels. This is volume 2. It's gilded with his name, George Eliot. It's got a pencil inscription in the front. It's got someone's handwriting across there. This is 1876, so it's, it's got a bit of age to it. But not much else that sort of recommends it to me. I love that writing in the front that's scrawled across the title. I mean, that's pretty awesome. but the rest of it, it's just old paper and text. So, you know, I'll tear it up, I'll use it. But I wouldn't have bought it just for that. Kate, the Pride of the Parish. I think this is a novel. It's got a lovely presentation certificate here, 1899, and then in pencil it's got 1900 at the bottom. So turn of the century. It's got some really nice plates, not many, just a few. Just an old novel, really. The cover is quite cool, so that might make a nice little journal. From the Crib to the Cross, the story of Jesus for little children. I think I actually saw this one myself. This is 1905. It's got lovely big text. It does have some interesting plates. That's actually a photographic plate. It's got quite thick paper, and he said he didn't know whether I wanted this or not, but he got it for me to do with what I want. Next is another medical one. This is Harmsworth's Home Doctor, and it's volume DUL to JEA, volume 3 out of I don't know how many, obviously a number. This one, I'm kind of not sure. It does have some interesting images like this botanical here, but it's kind of shiny paper. It is old. It's got some, like, there's a pull out of the ear canal. Like, you know, everybody needs a full-on diagram of the ear canal in their journal. Not, unless you're making a medical journal. But it's, you know, it's got some interesting graphs and bits. So, yeah, don't know. It is 1924 as the year of publication. So it's not super old. It's 100 years old. You know, that's quite old really, isn't it? 100. Then this one is the history of the English Church from the ascension of George I to the end of the 18th century. So 1714 to 1800. This one's interesting because the pages are different heights, and they've all got raggedy edges. Like if you saw the other book where the pages weren't cut, I think this was one like that where the pages weren't cut, and so somebody's gone through and separated them all, and so they're all rough and like fascinating that they're different heights and sizes every page. It's quite fascinating. It's 1906, and it's just kind of like old paper with text. There's some interesting, more different fonts in the back. A few tables, but yeah, another one that I wouldn't have purchased for myself. It's gilded. It's got the remnants of the gilt edges. But you know, I've got it now, so I will do something with it. This one he picked up for me. We had previously discussed this one on an earlier visit to the shop, and I'd said I don't tend to go for these because the pages are very thick, but they're also very fragile and they crack and everything. But he saw it, and just so he picked it up because he liked it. And it has got really cool images. The paper, the color of the paper is amazing. So aged, and so I've got it now. I can use it. He said to me, I thought you could use it for pockets. How sweet is that? Like, honestly, how sweet. Yeah, so I'm not at all upset that he bought it for me. There's a lovely colour plate there. Just not typically one I go for because, you know, the paper is not good quality paper, shall we say. Okay. So then there is this one. This one's a little bit different. This is individual sheet music that has been bound into a book for the owner. So it was done in Christchurch with this wonderful textured cover with gilded writing and for the name that it was bound for. And it was really cool. And it's got this handwritten index in the front, which is really fun. And then every section of the music, you know, so they were original bits of sheet music. They range in date from 1800s through to early 1900s, with all the beautiful graphic quality, and most of them have handwriting on them and a stamp from the shop that they were bought on. So I will be turning these into a digital, most certainly. I don't know when. And even the aging on some of these is just fabulous. Now, he wasn't going to pick this one up, and he gave it to me. Once we got home, we were going through the books, and he gave it to me and says, you can do with it what you want. You can cut it up or whatever. But then after we'd been through all the books, he picked it up again and started going through it. And he changed his mind. He said, no, this is one that's going to be kept, so you can scan it, but you can't cut it up, for one reason. And I'm just going to flick to the back. It's, I think, the second to last song in the book. So I've just got to find it. That he didn't realise when he bought it. This one. So as he was going through, he found this song, and it's called My Dearest Heart, composed expressly for and dedicated to Mrs. Osgood. I am Mrs. Osgood, and his mother is Mrs. Osgood. You know, it's a family name. It's not a very common name, not overly common, especially here in New Zealand. So based on the fact that this is composed for and dedicated to Mrs. Osgood, he thought this was meant to come home with us, and we need to keep it because of that. And I'm happy with that. I probably wouldn't have cut this one up anyway. I would fully on scan the pages and turn them into a digital, and with the wonderful penmanship that's written on them and the old stamps, and all the different, this one's 1905, the copyright on that one, this one's 1905, but some of them are a lot earlier, and some of them you've got to research. I'm just seeing if I can find another date, because some of them are in the 1800s. I don't know why they don't date stuff, I really don't. But anyway, and some of them have had bits of paper stuck on them because they started to tear and stuff. But really, really fun, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That's all I can say, is they're just beautiful. This one's 1896. So yeah, all sorts of dates on each one of those. And there's, I didn't realise there was more than one colour one. So that's a colour one with pencil, Mrs. something Osborne, Bearley Avenue, Christchurch. And then there's pen at the top, that's Rakaya. So, fun. So the last one that he picked up for me at the book barn was this one, and this one is one I pointed out to him, and I really, really wanted it, but it had $20 inside, and I was like, I was on a limited budget, and he had said to me that he had a bigger budget than I did. So I pointed it out to him, and then I didn't say get it for me or anything. I just showed it to him and walked away, and he did get it for me. He's such a sweetheart. Young Australia. The presentation inside is 1906. I believe the publication is either 1905 or 1906. I probably put a bet on that it's 1905. And it's just, this first few pages are obviously falling out. There's this huge mono print there. But the images and the text and the decorative bits throughout it are just awesome. Like, so much I can scan and use. Like, look at that. That's the Amazon River. I don't know how that one would copy because it's very dark, but I'd give it a go. You know, decorative illuminated letters, and just like so much I can use. Another, it is a tea, just fun. It is a boys book, so the images are very tailored towards the male side. Fist fight. But still so much I can use. So much. It's just wonderful. So there's a polar bear and a man having a fight there. Yeah, very male sort of oriented. But like this cowboy on a horse. So cool. And just even like this banner here. Like I could take the text out and put something else in there. It's just like there's so much I can use. And the cover is really beautiful. So this is one that will be kept intact. And I will just scan bits out of it. So I will show you what I picked up at the book barn, which you'll see is quite different in nature to what my husband picked up. He was going for age primarily. But after we've finished in there, there's a shop behind it's called an emporium, and it's a mixture of different sellers. And I had been eyeing up a particular book in that shop for, I think, since May, the first time we went there. But it was $125. And we went back to the car and he says, I'll be back in a minute. And he didn't come back for a while, so I gave up and I locked the car and I went wandering off to another shop. And he came out with this huge big parcel wrapped in tissue paper. And I guessed straight away. I says, you didn't. And he says, yes, I did. And he says, but I bargained them down to $90. And Lydia, you might remember, because I took you to that shop, me telling you about it, you might have guessed what I'm about to show you. And it's big. Oh my gosh. And it's heavy. It is so heavy. And it won't all fit in the frame, I'm afraid. I'm sorry, you can't see. It's quite big. In fact, let's give it a measure. It is about 13.5 inches tall and about 10 inches wide. And how deep? Let's go how deep. It is 4 inches deep. It's a big, heavy book. It is in some sad repair. This top and bottom of the spine is missing. The front bit here is detached. But let me just show you this. Can you see that? Like, can I bring it down a bit? So you can kind of see the top there. It is just stunning. Now, I had to research the date of it because it's not dated. And it is from 1878. This big old Holy Bible, which needs a little bit of repair work. But it's just amazing. I'm not going to show you right through it. It's huge. It's got pressed plants in it. Mostly just fragments of where they have pressed plants, but this one had 3 still intact. I'm just going to flick that back to hold it in place. It's huge. And then in between the Old and New Testament, I can just, and you know, colour plates here and there. Just got to find in between the two. There we go. There's a map, or maps. There's this family register, parents' names. Unfortunately, nothing has been filled out, so there's no beautiful handwriting to enjoy. They're all blank, but that makes them also awesome to scan. Although I won't be scanning this, it's way too heavy for my scanner. I will be photographing it. they're blank, so I can turn them into a digital that you can actually use in a journal for writing space. This pretty sort of pinky red, and then it's got children's names, marriages, and deaths. So just printed in Glasgow in Scotland. Interesting enough. Beautiful plates, and it's just a treasure. You know, it's something that we will have as now our family Bible, although, you know, for the first however many years, from 1870 whatever it was, I can't even remember the date now, you know, it's been through a few families, I would say, and it's now our family Bible. And I'm sorry that that's flicking right up under the camera at you, but it's such a big book. So my sweet, sweet, sweet husband, who knew I was eyeing this up for months, went and spent $90 on me, plus all the other books that he bought. And there was something else he bought me. I don't know where I've put it. He bought me a little pack of, they're modern, they're new. He bought them at the service station for me, of little scratch notes, and they're black, and you scratch a picture or writing or whatever into them, and they reveal sort of rainbow colours underneath. I would show them, but I don't know where I've put them right now. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video again, because this book it's a workout. It's really a workout. And then I'll grab across the stuff that I picked up, and then that will be the video. So I'll be right back again. I do see we're going well over time, and I do apologize for that, but I really want to get this done so I can put things away. You don't have to keep watching. You can certainly stop, or you can pause it, you know, stop it, come back at a later date. But this is the final section of the books that I picked up. This was a really good find, the World Atlas of Birds, and it's got beautiful large bird illustrations, lots of them, just wonderful. It does have a few photos, I think, from my flick through, maybe not. Maybe it's just all illustrations, which is what I prefer. So, you know, that's going to be fussy cut up. It's awesome. Right. This one I picked up free because it's one that they had torn the cover off to go to recycling. I don't get how they decide what they're going to dispose of and what they keep, because this is in perfect condition, apart from the fact that they tore the cover off. And it's got some really cool images in there to use. And just, yeah, interesting. I thought there was, especially for free, there's lots of things here I can cut out and use for collaging, as focal images. Just fun. I might even learn a bit or two, you know, as I'm going through. I might learn some facts and figures. So for free, great find. This one I picked up for the images, because the images, the illustrations are really beautiful. But then I started reading it when I got home, and I don't think I can cut this one up. It is gorgeous. Christian Mother Goose Tales. And there's one in the back that particularly just got me really emotional. So I'm going to loan this to a family from church. They've got 5 children. Her mother does have a Christian Mother Goose. But when I was telling her about this, A Letter to Jesus, she's like, she didn't remember this, so it might be a different version. So I'm going to loan it to them, and then, you know, I will see. It might just live on my bookcase, because it is a beautiful book, and I love the messages through it. It's just gorgeous. Right, next up, oops, I just bent these up, are a sheet of preserve labels, homegrown, with little jars of preserves. I suspect it didn't cost me anything. I didn't ask. You know, you just take your bundle up and they go through it, and then they tell you a price, which is always less than the total of what's written on the box. This was probably the most I've ever spent at Book Barn, which was $21. I picked up a novel. This is one author that I really enjoy, and I'm slowly collecting them. They had heaps of them there, but I didn't want to like buy heaps. I just like every now and then I'll pick one up rather than go whole hog and buy as many as I can find, because I also need to make a list of what I've got so I don't double up. But I know I didn't have this one because I love collecting authors. You know, if there's an author I like to have the whole set. Okay, this again, I don't know how much it cost me. It just caught my eye. I thought it was pretty. It's Emma Bridgewater little notepad with bees and these beautiful watercolor pieces front and back. So it's called Rose and Bee by Emma Bridgewater, and it's got little bees on each page. I just thought it was cute, so I'll probably just use that, you know, for making notes. I suspect again that it was just like part of the bundle. It was like, you know, either free or negligible price. Okay, so last books on my lap here. Let's bring them all up. I picked up 3 golden books. They have lots and lots of golden books. So I was looking for hardcover ones. So let's start with this one, Richard Scarry's Best Little Word Book Ever. And I just wanted the images out of this one. So primarily this will be for cutting out images. I'll probably keep the cover in case I want to make a journal, but this one was specifically to use the images from. Again, this one was again for the images. Beautiful, beautiful illustrations. So that one, and I could use the cover as well for a journal. Let's pop those up there. And then this one I specifically bought to make a journal with. I'm going to be making some Christmas journals this year. And there was this, the biggest, most beautiful Christmas tree. And I thought this possibly, I haven't printed it out yet, would pair really nicely with Joey Cardmaker's Christmas Folk digital. Because there's quite a few animals in that digital. There's blue as well as the red and green. And I thought this might make a really nice cover for that journal, and I can use some of the images or pages as part of that. I mean, it's, yeah, I thought that was really cute. So that one's destined to be a journal, definitely. I've never done a little golden book journal, so that's going to be a new thing. This, I've already got one of these, but I've already cut half of it apart. And when I saw this one, I thought, yes, I want another copy. Because, you know, 2 sides of the page, so I can use both. I spotted this one. I'm not sure whether I'm going to cut this one up or use it, because it is a really handy reference book for ferns in New Zealand. So identifying what's native, how to tell them apart. But it's matte paper with lovely, the photographs, but because it's matte, they look better than like shiny photos. And then it's got the graphic illustration of what the leaves are like. So I'm really conflicted about this one, whether I cut it up or whether I keep it as a reference book, because it is, I've never seen it before. It is actually a really good reference book. This one, again, planning on Christmas journals. This one has a really fun dust jacket with a cutout. See? Beautiful cover. So I might turn the cover into a journal, but it has beautiful Christmas sort of Victorian style illustrations throughout it. Really beautiful. It is shiny, you know, but it's beautiful. So, and you can get away with shine at Christmas, can't you? If ever you could get away with shine, I think Christmas, like, look at that. Isn't that so sweet? Just beautiful, beautiful images. And I just, oh, that's not so beautiful. That's really horrible. Ew, don't like that. But anyway, we won't be using him in a journal. He can, you know, find the bin. And then there's this one. This is a Chinese, I believe, book. these red parts are actually stamps. You can see the ink on the other side. It's very, very thin paper, all with the Asian characters, and there's a few like illustrations here and there. I have no idea what it's about. There's beautiful Chinese art. Oh, that's stunning. It's almost Japanese. I wonder if it's Japanese as opposed to... I really don't know. It's Asian. Let's just say it's Asian. But really, really lovely. You know, I'll use the text. I will use those images. Really lovely. Take that out for a moment. And there's those as well. They're things that I just tucked in here. Like, isn't that so cool? And these types of things they don't charge very much for because they've limited resale value in terms of the number of people that would want it here in New Zealand. Please excuse me. I've obviously been going too long. And then finally, these were I found tucked in other things and I just tucked them in a book. So there's a random book page out of something, I don't know. But there's this old card with love and best wishes. It's damaged, but it's old. It's got gilt edges. And it's got for Dear Sarah with best love from Etty. And Etty is a very old name. So it is an old card. And I just thought it was beautiful. And then this from 1907. And it's German. Because it says Berlin. So I know it's German. Beautiful font. Absolutely gorgeous font. It's all in German. I can't read a word of it. But the age of the paper, 1907. 1907. Bit of newspaper tucked into a book randomly. It's like, what? Yeah, I just love that font. It's just cool. It's old and it's cool. So there we go. That's the final little bit. And they were just tucked in a book. And I thought, well, the person who gets the book probably won't want those. So I just thought, well, I'll have them because I will appreciate them and I can use them. So I do apologise once again for the length of the video. If you hung in there, I hope you enjoyed seeing all the goodies. I really enjoyed going through them. So have a great day and I'll be back again with a shorter video tomorrow. I'll see you then. Bye for now.